term program.
Being away from home, yet being at home, is an inexplicable feeling. It's not the walls or doors that define home. It's where one feels secure, loved, and where one grows as an individual to embark upon the adventures of life. Our school is not only our home, but our world, where we learn, grow, and evolve into the best versions of ourselves. It is indeed our home, our world, which is the theme for today's program.
Sangachadwam, samvadadvam, samvo manansi janatam.
May our prayer be one. May we belong to one brotherhood. May our aspirations be harmonious. May we be bound in strong fellowship and unity.
This is an extract from a beautiful Sanskrit hymn which the choir will now sing. Our MD, Ms. Monisha Datta, to introduce the chief guest and share the school report with us.
All the dear children that I see over here, you know, this has come as a pleasant surprise because a lot of our old girls and boys out of nowhere they have just come to see the program. So thank you very much for being here, revisiting your old days. And you can actually see I'm trying to catch my breath because some of you came in just now and I was quite taken by surprise. A pleasant surprise at that. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and dear students. On behalf of the students, staff, teachers, we have called it our home, our world. Because this school is actually our home. And the children, all of us, we revolve around them. They are nothing but our world. If you meet all the teachers and if you meet everyone who's a part of this place, you will realize there's an ethos that works around here. And you'll feel the pulse as you see the things unfold in front of you. There's a passion that flows, and it's almost like a blood flow in our lines. On this special occasion, we are lucky to have Dr. Urvashi amongst us as our chief guest. Thank you, ma'am, for taking out time from your super hectic schedule. We know what all was going on while you were trying to fly out from Lucknow and join us for this special day. I take great pride in introducing Dr. Urvashi Sahni as a woman of substance, a woman who believed in her ability to make the dreams of others come true. We come across people, we make our own dreams come true. She is among those who believes in making the dreams of others come true. You're not aware of the fact, ma'am, but throughout the pandemic, one positive thing that kept me going was following all your work and seeing how amongst all the darkness and the odds that were there, you still kept on going and you still believed in what you were doing. Thank you for being an inspiration to all of us, ma'am. For the few who do not know about Urvashi Sahni, ma'am, she's a social entrepreneur, a women's rights activist, and educationist who's a leading expert in curriculum design. Her special focus is on girls' education and gender equality. She founded Suraksha, a women's rights organization, Didis, a social enterprise for sustainable livelihoods for women, and she's the president and CEO of SHEF, Study Hall Educational Foundation. This is where I've heard the maximum about you, because this has actually impacted over 100,000 teachers as well as over 5 million children's life. Most of these girls are girls from disadvantaged backgrounds. So thank you very much, ma'am, for working for a cause that is making a difference to this environment. Dr. Sahni is an Ashoka Fellow and a non-resident fellow at the Center of Universal Education at the Brookings Institute, USA. In 2017, she won the Social Entrepreneur of the Year India Award, conferred by the Shawak Jubilant Bharatiya Foundation. I hope I've pronounced that right. In 2020, she co-created Catalyst 2030, a global network of over 800 social entrepreneurs, collecting all the people together so that they can all move towards a cause with a better movement. The UP government has recently nominated her to serve on the steering committee for the implementation of NEP 2020 and by the National Institute of Open Schooling to serve on their committee for the revision of their gender policy. Combining her activism with research, Dr. Sahni has several publications to her credit. Presently, widely at several influential forums, her insights on girls' education are regularly sought after and woven into programs by UNICEF, by UNESCO, UN Women, UNGEI, global NGOs like Teach for All, and consulting firms like BCG and Britspan. So the magic she weaves and the conviction with which she moves is something to feel. And she radiates her energy wherever she goes. That is visible to us. Since she walked into the campus, there was a different kind of a vibe that she carried. So, ma'am, we are much, much obliged to have you with us. Thank you once again for joining us on this special day. I can see that all of you are very keen to see what your children have got for you today. I'm going to take exactly 3 more minutes, and I need your full undivided attention. Time since March 2020 has been most unexpected for everyone, and I would like to bring to your notice that each person who is a part of this organization has left no stone unturned to do whatever needed to be done. Many of our teachers, even when they were down in the second wave, Delta time, we know how we managed the classes, how we shut down the school. And many of these teachers, when they realized that the children back home had no support system because families were hospitalized, continued taking their online classes even when they themselves were suffering. So thank you to all the teachers, because working non-stop in a boarding school, 5 months, 3.5 months is more than enough. We've gone on 7 months in a row. Third wave happening while the children were here. Full swing. It's not easy, believe you me. And if this is possible because of the team that has been going on behind the scene, in front, everywhere. There is only one focus we all have over here. Children need to be safe and children need to be happy. Today, I stand here tall. And I stand here tall because I'm proud of the team, each and every member of the Doon Girls and the Dehradun Boys School. And parents, that includes each one of you who's sitting out there and helping us row this boat. Please remember, these children are of impressionable minds. They have seen a lot during the pandemic. That has grown them up beyond their years, some of them. And the damage that has happened, they haven't been even now been able to share that with anyone. So we are trying to actively work on their mental health and have started a mindfulness program for them. That means 3 times in a day, they log on to their computer and do that 5-minute exercise on mindfulness. We have recently started. They are still forming a habit. So it is a sincere request to all of you to remind them, we'll share the time schedule with you, to log on to it and just do that exercise morning before they used to begin their classes, fruit break time, just after fruit break, and immediately, just before lunchtime. To just get their energies together, take a pause, concentrate on their breath, and then move ahead once again with all the energy. Feel free to join them while they do this exercise. It's going to do you good. The second program that we have introduced to them, and I'm not talking of academics, mind you, is a program which has started taking them on to explore the universe and the space. And this they are doing through watching what's happening up in the space through an online telescope, allowing them to witness the beautiful miracles that are happening around there. And this is through a space program or club known as SLU. Ask your children. They're going to take you along with them in the journey. And it's a beautiful world out there, much better than our mobile phones. So take out time and spend doing this with your children in the holidays. The third thing that you need to understand is your children have grown up and have become video bloggers as well as blog writers. And this is because they are participating actively in a program known as Joy of Reading, which leads to Joy of Speaking and Joy of Writing, which is an initiative taken by Good School Alliance. Ask them to understand them. What is it that they write about? What is it that they read about? And it is a misconception when you say children don't read enough. They read a lot. Encourage them to read well. And let them read and explore and do things the way they want to. And I'm just leaving you with one mantra, the mantra of no. It is important to use it once in a while. There's a lot that has happened in the last 2 years. We as teachers are parents to all your children. And I say it with pride. We say no when needed. We request you to use this magic wand of no. Children are our own reflection. Just reflect well when they come back. Thank you.
For sharing this valuable information with us.
A relationship between a parent and a child is something that we all have seen or experienced very closely in our lives. But a relationship between two strangers is rare, especially when it transforms into something so beautiful that it transcends beyond recognition.
One of such stories was written by our well-known Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore, and that is Kabuliwala. It is a heart-rending childhood tale of innocence, love, and fate. This is the story of a man with a heart of gold touching the lives of many while making do with his own fate. How a young girl Minnie bonds with a stranger, and how a dry fruit vendor from Afghanistan sees an impression of his daughter in that young girl. This is what gives rise to this poignant tale of friendship and humanity.
गुरुदेव रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर बहुआयामी प्रतिभा के धनी रहे। वे कवि, दार्शनिक, साहित्यकार, नाटककार, संगीतकार, चित्रकार तथा प्रसिद्ध कहानीकार थे। हिंदी, अंग्रेजी तथा बांग्ला पर उनका समान रूप से अधिकार रहा। उनकी अनेक प्रसिद्ध कहानियों में से काबुलीवाला कहानी विद्यालय के छात्र छात्राएं लघु नाटिका के रूप में प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं। प्रस्तुत है लघु नाटिका काबुलीवाला।
ऐसे नहीं ऐसे है। चलो तैयार हो ना सब? 1 2 3 4। चलो फिर से शुरू करेंगे। 1 2 3 4।
जमुना किनारे मोरी ऊंची हवेली, मैं ब्रिज की गोपी अलबेली। जमुना किनारे मोरी ऊंची हवेली, मैं ब्रिज की गोपी अलबेली।
माँ से कहूँगी कि मुझे भी सीखना है ये वाला नाच। माँ माँ माँ, कितना मज़ा आया आज। सारा दिन नाच देखा, पारों के साथ घर घर खेला। माँ एक बात पूछूं, चांद रात को ही क्यों आता है और सूरज दिन में ही क्यों निकलता है? माँ एक बात और पूछनी थी कि अगर रविवार को पाठशाला बंद थी तो सोमवार क्यों नहीं? और घर का काम आप ही क्यों करती हो, बाबा क्यों नहीं? और दफ्तर बाबा ही क्यों जाती हैं, आप क्यों नहीं? और माँ
बस कर मिनी, এত প্রশ্ন আমি ঠকে গেলাম তোর প্রশ্নগুলো দিয়ে। इतनी शक्ति नहीं है मुझ में, जा अपने बाबा के पास।
ठीक है बाबा बाबा बाबा, जो रामदयाल दरबान है ना बाबा, सुनो ना बाबा, जो रामदयाल दरबान है ना वो काक को कावा कहता है। काका। बाबा बाबा, माँ आपकी कौन है?
मेरी चाची मिन्नी। अभी तो जा, तेरी सारी सहेलियाँ दुर्गा पूजा की तैयारियाँ कर रही है।
ठीक है बाबा, मैं चली उनके साथ।
বছর বছর আসতে হবে
मुझे भी तो दुर्गा पूजा के लिए नई चूड़ियाँ चाहिए। चूड़ी वाला गली में ही होगा, अभी जाकर देखती हूँ।
काबुल से आया हूँ, काजू किशमिश बादाम लाया हूँ। आ गया भैया आ गया, काबुली वाला आ गया।
काबुली वाले, ओ काबुली वाले, काबुली वाले, ओ काबुली वाले।
कौन है? किसने आवाज दी? लगता है कोई बच्ची है। कौन हूँ भाई? पहले तो कभी नहीं देखा। मैं रहमत हूँ बाबूजी, दूर अफगान से आया हूँ, सूखे मेवे बेचता हूँ। वो बच्ची कहाँ गई बाबूजी?
लगता है तुमसे डरकर भाग गई। अभी बुलाता हूँ। मिन्नी, ओ मिन्नी, डर मत बेटा, ये काबुली वाला है। देख, सूखे मेवे खाएगी।
अजी सुनते हो? जरा इधर आना, माँ दुर्गा प्रतिमा मंदिर देखे जाओ।
आशी आशी, तुम काबुली वाला से बात करो, मैं अभी आया।
ठीक আছে।
सुभान अल्लाह, चेहरे पे क्या नूर है इस बच्ची के। ये तो बिल्कुल मेरा बच्चा अमीना जैसा दिखता है। हूबहू वही शक्ल और सूरत मेरा अमीना, जिसे मैं काबुल छोड़ आया हूँ। डर मत बच्ची, ले किशमिश खाएगी।
काबुली वाले, तुम मुझे अपनी पोटली में तो बंद नहीं कर लोगे? माँ कहती है कि बाबा छोटे बच्चों को ले जाता है।
नहीं मेरा बच्चा, तू किशमिश खा।
खूब ভালো আছে, खूब ভালো আছে, खूब ভালো আছে, खूब ভালো আছে।
मिनी में काबुली वाला को अपनी बेटी नजर आती है और रोज मिलने का नया सिलसिला शुरू हो जाता है। मिनी के पिता के बाद काबुली वाला ही वह इंसान था जो मिनी को इतने धैर्य से सुनता था। हर रिश्ते की नींव खून से नहीं जुड़ी होती, कुछ ताने बाने यूं ही बन जाते हैं।
काबुली वाले, तुमसे एक बात पूछूं?
पूछो मेरा बच्चा।
क्या तुम्हें चिड़िया और खेलना आता है?
हाँ मेरा बच्चा।
आता है तो चलो खेलते हैं। चिड़िया और मैना और कोयल और भोला और देखो, काबुली वाले ने तो भोला को ही उड़ा दिया। भोला के पंख नहीं है, वो तो चलता है, बुद्धू कहीं का। काबुली वाले, तुमसे एक और बात पूछूं?
पूछो मेरा बच्चा।
क्या तुम मेरे सवालों से कभी नहीं थकते?
नहीं मेरा बच्चा, हम कभी नहीं थकता।
क्यों नहीं थकते? माँ तो हमेशा थक जाती है।
बच्चा, ये तुम्हें तब समझ आएगा जब तुम बड़ा होके अपना ससुराल चला जाएगा। ये आना रख मेरा बच्चा और मेरे पास बैठ जा। परी, तुम ससुराल कब जाएगा?
पता नहीं, तुम ससुराल कब जाओगे?
हम ससुराल नहीं जाएगा, हम तो ससुर को मारेगा।
गहरा होता चला गया। सुबह से कब शाम होती दोनों को इसका एहसास ही ना होता। पर माँ तो माँ होती है, उसका डर भी गलत नहीं। मिनी का किसी अनजान से इतना घुलना मिलना उससे बिल्कुल ना भाता और वह मिनी को डांटती है।
मिनी, ओ मिनी, मिनी चल अंदर चल। कितनी बार कहा है अनजान लोगों से बात नहीं किया करो। और ये आना कहाँ से मिला? बाबा दिए तो नालिश करबो।
माँ, काबुली वाला बहुत अच्छा है, मेरे सारे सवालों का जवाब देता है।
चुप कर, चल अंदर। अजी सुनते हो? देखो अपनी लाडली को।
ओहो मधु, तुम बेकार ही चिंता करती हो। काबुली वाला बहुत ही नेक इंसान है।
हाँ, नेक इंसान? তোমাকে তো সবাই ভালো মানুষ লাগে, শুধু আমিই খারাপ।
काबुली वाला देखता रह जाता है और उदास मन से वहाँ से जाने लगता है। तभी
यार अहमद, लो आ गई तुम्हारी चिट्ठी, कब से राह देख रहे थे।
मेरा बच्चा, मेरा चिट्ठी, मेरा बच्चा, मेरा जान, मेरे लगते जिगर के हाथों के निशान। उसे पता है बाबा उसका चिट्ठी नहीं पढ़ पाएगा। डाकिया बाबू, तुम पढ़ देगा क्या?
मियां रहमत, खबर अच्छी नहीं है। तुम्हारी बेटी की तबीयत खराब है, उसे इलाज की सख्त जरूरत है।
या खुदा, मेरा बच्चा बीमार है, इलाज के लिए पैसे भेजने होंगे। क्या करूं मैं? किसके पास जाऊं? किससे पैसे मांगूं मैं?
तुम सेठ के पास क्यों नहीं जाते? उसके पास तुम्हारे पैसे हैं।
सही याद दिलाया, मैं अभी जाता हूँ।
अफगानिस्तान का हो या हिंदुस्तान का, औलाद का दर्द तो सबके लिए एक जैसा है। इसी सोच में लाचार काबुली वाला सेठ के घर पहुंचता है।
सेठ जी, ओ सेठ जी, कोई है क्या? क्या?
कौन हो भाई? किससे मिलना है?
मैं रहमत हूँ, सेठ जी से मिलना था।
अच्छा, अंदर आओ।
आओ रहमत मियाँ, अंदर आओ।
सेठ जी माफ़ करना, आपको परेशान किया, मुसीबत में हूँ।
क्या बात है रहमत मियाँ, यहाँ क्यों आए हो?
सेठ जी, काबुल जाना था।
तो मैं क्या करूँ? जा।
सेठ जी, अगर मेरा पैसा मिल जाता तो।
तेरा पैसा? मेरे पास तेरा कोई पैसा वैसा नहीं है।
ऐसा मत बोलो सेठ जी, वो पैसा जो मैंने आपको काबुल जाने के लिए जमा किया था।
मेरे पास जमा किया था? नहीं तो चल हट।
सेठ जी, महीनों की पूंजी जमा करवाई थी आपके पास। छोटा आदमी हूँ, लेकिन आज तक किसी के साथ धोखा नहीं किया।
पैसे नहीं दूंगा, जो करना ही कर ले। वैसे भी तू काबुल से आया है, यहाँ कलकत्ते में तेरा विश्वास कोई नहीं करने वाला।
आखिरी बार कह रहा हूँ सेठ जी, वरना
क्या कर लेगा? बोलो, को यहाँ से बाहर निकालो।
हमें जो कहना है कह लो, लेकिन हमारा मुल्क का तौहीन मत करो। हमें हमारा मुल्क हमारी जान से भी ज्यादा प्यारा है।
चुप करो इस पठान को, इसकी मजाल तो देखो।
लो जी, पुलिस भी आ गई, साथ साथ पकड़ो इस खुदी को।
अरे बाहर इतना शोर क्यों हो रहा है?
तुम्ही बहुत शोर आ रहा है।
पुलिस, रहमत, छुरी, सेठ, ये क्या हो रहा है?
पठान साहब ने गुस्से में होकर भोले वाले शेर को छुरी मार दिया।
भोला बाला झूठा मक्कार था वो।
कम से कम 8 साल के लिए अंदर जाएगा।
पठान साहब को पुलिस का इतना डंडा पड़ेगा तब समझ में आएगा। काबुली वाले, ओ काबुली वाले, मुझे छोड़कर ससुराल जा रहे हो?
कुछ ऐसा ही समझो बिटिया।
काबुली वाले, तुम वापस आओगे ना?
हाँ, हम जरूर लौट आएगा, हमको याद रखना।
छुरी चलाने के जुर्म में रहमत को 8 साल का कारावास मिला। पता नहीं उसने सही किया या गलत। वहीं दूसरी ओर मिनी रोज उसका इंतजार करती। जैसे जैसे साल बीते सब अपने अपने कामों में लग गए। काबुली वाले के दिन अंधेरे में ही शुरू होते और अंधेरे में ही खत्म। उसके पत्थर जैसे कंधे अब ढीले पड़ गए थे। रोज वह याद करता अपनी बेटी मिनी और अपने मुल्क को। धोनो धानो पुष्प भरा
আরে দেবী না, মিনি তৈরি হলো কি না? হে ভগবান, কি করে সব হবে?
मौसी चिंता ना करो, मिनी एक खूब सुंदर दुल्हन बनकर बिल्कुल तैयार है। याशिका हम कब दुल्हन बनेंगे? पता नहीं, हमारी बारी कब आएगी? I also want to be a bride. When will my turn come?
हे भगवान, अभी हम तो दुल्हन बने नहीं है, इन्हें बनना है। चलो अंदर।
परी, ओ परी।
रहमत, तुम इतने सालों बाद कैसे हो तुम?
ठीक हूँ साहब, कल ही जेल से छूटा हूँ। साहब अगर मिनी का एक झलक देख लेता तो।
नहीं रहमत, आज नहीं हो पाएगा, फिर कभी आना।
साहब ये किशमिश बादाम मिनी को दे देना, उसके लिए लाया था।
दो, ये पैसे रखो।
बाबू मोसाई, मिनी की तरह मेरा देश में भी मेरा एक बच्चा रहता है। उसी की याद में मैं मिनी के लिए मेवे ले आता था, और मैं यहाँ कोई सौदा करने नहीं आता था। और इस बार तो चूड़ी भी लाया हूँ, चूड़ी।
रहमत, आज हमारे घर में कुछ काम है, कभी और आना। रहमत रुको, मैं इतना पत्थर दिल नहीं हूँ। तुमने अपनी बच्ची और मेरी मिन्नी के बीच कभी कोई फर्क नहीं किया। मैं अभी मिन्नी को बुलाता हूँ। अरे मिन्नी को कोई बाहर भेजो जरा।
अगर मिनी को जल्दी बुला देता तो सोच रहा था अपने हाथों से ही उसे ये चूड़ी पहना देता।
रहमत मियाँ, अब ना आ पाएगी ये चूड़ी तुम्हारी परी को। सियानी हो गई है ये, आज ब्याह है इसका।
पापा ये कौन है? ये क्या हो रहा है?
मिन्नी तू ही भी तोड़े जा, रस्मों का समय आ रहा है। रहमत मियाँ मुआफ करना, और मुझे भी जाना पड़ेगा।
या खुदा, ये सब कुछ क्या हुआ? मेरा घर, मेरा परिवार, मेरा मुल्क, सब मुझसे दूर चला गया। मिनी ने भी मुझे ना पहचान पाया, और जैसा मिनी मुझे ना पहचान पाया, क्या मेरा अमीना भी मुझे ना पहचान पाएगा? वो भी तो बड़ा हो गया होगा, वो भी तो दुल्हन के जोड़े में सजकर अपना ससुराल चला गया होगा। क्या उसने एक बार भी मुझे याद किया होगा, या मिनी की तरह भूल गया होगा? भूल ही गया होगा। किस्मत का कैसा मार पड़ा। ना खून का रिश्ता निभा पाया, ना प्यार का, और ना ही भरोसे का। खुदा भी मुझे माफ नहीं करेगा। किस मुंह से जाऊं अपने मुल्क? मिनी।
Open your mind. Open your mind. Walk alone.
guest, Dr. Urvashi Sahni, to address the audience.
Well done, well done. Mr. Dang, Monisha, Sumali, and all our distinguished guests, dear parents. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here today, and what a delightful evening it has been. I can't tell you, children, you were so good. This is a classic. By the way, just by coincidence, it happens to be my favorite. Tagore's story and movie, when you were not even born, I remember. I just want to say this about the performance before I give my speech, is that we tend to take performances, dances, songs, anything on the stage as mere entertainment, about a sense of what this man must have felt so far away from home at. So once again, big round of applause to our young performers. And I really believe, from all my years with education, that the quality of a school really does show there. And it surely did. So congratulations to the school and to the management and the teachers again. Talking about quality education. You know, all of us, we are all parents here, well, most of us, and we all want a high quality education for our children. But strangely enough, people define quality differently. For some people, it is a swanks building with smart boards, with state-of-the-art sports facilities, big swimming pool, and air-conditioned classrooms, dorms, etc., etc., etc. What a wonderful school and what a high-quality school. For some people, it is results. If you can deliver the results and the children can get in their 98% and 99% and get into colleges and with, focus only on academics with no attention to co-curriculars, thank God, that's the high quality they treasure. And in some cases, I'm an educationist, we run our own schools in Lucknow. We started a new one in a peri-urban area very recently. And one of the parents came fighting, very angry with us. कैसा स्कूल है, कुछ लिखाई पढ़ाई तो होती नहीं, बस एक्टिविटीज चलती रहती हैं और बच्चा डरता ही नहीं, कोई मारता नहीं, कुछ नहीं, कैसा स्कूल है, very poor quality. That is another idea of quality. Many years ago, when our school was very little, there was another parent who came very annoyed with me. I was then the principal. And he said, I'm really very unhappy, Mrs. Sahni, there's no homework. Your son, my child comes home, she plays all the time, there's no homework, and she's so happy in the school. How can children learn anything when they're so happy in school? So I asked him, I said, and does she know nothing? Kuch puchti nahi, bolti nahi? What is the matter? She said, no, she asks many questions, she talks a lot. They write so much, and there's so much homework, and she's terrified of school, and she's learning. I said, then you think your son is not learning? He said, nahi, learn to kar raha hai, but why is he so happy? That is another idea of quality. Right, so there is a variety of definitions of quality. And I thought I would take the little time that I have to talk about the way I define quality. And I think it's very much in sync with your school, Monisha, Sumali. And I think the way to describe it would be to just very briefly describe why I am an educator. I never intended to be. When I was in school, I come from Pune, I'm from St. Mary's School there. And St. Mary's School at that time, 50 years ago, many years ago, it's nearly 200 years old now, it was the first top-ranking school in the country. It was so good. And I did well. 1 year later, I was engaged and married off. And some years later, my cousin, 2 years younger than me, also from St. Mary's School, she was burnt to death in Delhi. They passed it off as a suicide, but I think it was a murder. We all think it was a murder, and they got away with it. That shook me to my core, and I asked myself, I said, why didn't she protest? Why didn't she get out on time? What What happened? What went wrong? And I think I began to ask myself the same question, that why didn't I protest? When I was married off so early, my brothers went on for engineering and chemistry and all kinds of management degrees, and I was just married off. Why didn't I protest? And then it led me to thinking about my education. I said this was a high-quality education that I'm supposed to have got from a very high-quality institution. And I was so angry. I said, you know, it wasn't a high-quality education. It shortchanged me terribly. It was a very half-hearted education. It taught me many academic skills, but it gave me no life skills. It didn't teach me to live. It didn't teach me to question. You know, like this little child asking so many questions. It didn't teach me to question that why should this happen to me, and why should my brothers get this and not me? Why should they go out and play cricket every day and I iron everybody's clothes? Why must I take care of all the younger brothers and sisters and they play cricket? I never asked those questions. And the school didn't teach me that. It never built any aspirations, didn't teach me to aspire more. I said, no, there was something wrong with that education. And that led me to start a school in my garage with 6 children in 1986. And now we serve about 8,000 and many more indirectly. And how do we define quality in our organization? We think of education, the goal of education, not just to know, but to learn how to live. And most importantly, to ask the question, who am I and how am I related to the universe and others in it? Our home, our world. I really love that title. Whoever thought about it, congratulations. The world should be our home. We believe that education, first of all, education institutions should be caring institutions, like this one is. Caring, loving. We pay too little premium on love and care these days. They should be happy institutions. I told you we were accused, we still are sometimes. And now there's a happiness curriculum. And the education should be relevant to your life. It should help children make meaning, make sense of their lives and their worlds. Their physical worlds. That's why you learn geography and science. If you're wondering, why are we bored with that? You must understand your physical world, right? Your emotional world. And I loved it, Monisha, in your speech when you spoke about the mindfulness exercises. So this school does take care. They must understand their emotions. Again, we pay too little attention to emotions. And now all psychologists are telling you that emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. EQ more important than IQ. They must understand why they feel what they feel. Find a language for it. Learn how to control it. Learn how to manage it. Learn how to express it. And that's why social and emotional learning. They must understand their social worlds. What is it like? What is society like? What are the social norms? What is the social world in which I live and that I must navigate and negotiate? What should I do? Which many high-quality institutions don't do. And they must understand their political world, and I'll come to that soon. Of course, our children must learn the foundational skills. You're not getting away from that. The reading, writing, math, and the content domain. Of course, we must prepare them for future careers. But that's not enough. That's really not enough. Education is a very powerful personal and social transformative force, provided education itself is transformed. We must give space for children to create, to imagine, to think critically, to empathize, to be resilient, to learn, because everything that you learn in school is not going to be enough. You will have to keep on learning, unlearning, relearning. And according to some experts, by 2050, the world will be a very different space. I will be dead and gone. You'll still be here. And you will have to reinvent yourself continuously. And you can't do that unless you know how to learn and how to be lifelong learners, right? And lastly, I would like to leave you with this. You know, we've been a democracy now for how many years? 1948 to now, how many years? 72. okay, or more. And are we a democracy? What are the three core pillars of democracy? Equality, fraternity, liberty. And do we live that? Inequality is rampant in this country in terms of gender, in terms of caste, in terms of class, in terms of religion. Fraternity, the less said, the better. There isn't. In fact, there's divisiveness these days. And how can you be free if you're hungry? We're one amongst the poorest countries in the world. And why have we not achieved it after so many years? You know, I think our founding parents did a very good job of giving us one of the finest constitutions in the world. And 3 cheers to them, God bless them. But here's what they didn't do. Take the next step and try to make sure that the populace was educated into democratic mindsets. We are trying to build a democracy with feudal mindsets. It can't happen. The patriarchy should have no place in a democracy, and it's the foundation of society. No one understands the idea of equality, of fraternity, of liberty. It's all in your civics books, but you forget about it. It is important we do that, and I would encourage you, if you don't already do that, to have critical discussions about equality, to weave it into your curriculum. I'll give you a very small example. We used to talk a lot about poverty, and our children, they were children like yours. We run multiple schools, and the schools are with very poor children in rural areas and urban areas, and one school like this. And they said, Auntie, why do we talk about poverty so much? Because they are not poor. I said, okay, better do this. For maths class, we did this. They were learning interest, and they were learning proportion. I said, all right. Prerna is our school with girls from very poor backgrounds. We said, all right, why don't you, one of your friends, ask them to invite you to their house. And here's what you have to do. The exercise is, you will take the area of their whole house and find out how many people there are. Then you will go home and take the area of your own room. And then you will derive the proportion of how many people per square foot in their house and in your room. You know, he never asked that question again. So he learned the math, but more importantly, he got a sense, a deep sense of how many people live, right? We have conversations all the time on gender, to girls, trying to make them understand the lessons that I never learned, that my school didn't teach me, that I was an equal person, that I had equal rights, constitutional rights. Swaraj mera janma siddha adhikar hai aur use main lekar rahungi. Women said that, and today after so many years, where is the Swaraj? Right? And we teach our boys that patriarchy is not your fault, but you can learn to change. It's very cruel to your sisters, to your mothers, to all the women you love. And you can learn to change so that it's not such a cruel world. What will you do to change? And believe me, it makes a difference. So I urge all of you as educators, I keep campaigning for having gender education squarely in the official curriculum. Caste curriculum, caste education in the curriculum. Whenever you talk about caste to well-to-do Savarn children and parents, the only thing they can think about is reservation. And my response to them is this. I said, you know, for centuries, there was 100% reservation for all the Savarnas. Nobody said anything, and nobody had any problem with that. And now when they get a little benefit, you're all up in arms. Do you know how badly they are treated? They should know. They should know. Caste has no place in a democracy. We should hang our heads in shame. When there was apartheid in South Africa, we all criticized it, India included. And we still have it. It is so shameful. Our children must know all of this. They must learn to think like democratic citizens. They must be we the people. You know, we the people hereby give to ourselves, adopt and enact. Yes, in your constitution? So who is the we the people? We are the we the people, all of us, right? All of us. They must learn to think of themselves as we the people. Learn not just how to cope with the world as it is rapidly changing, but also change the world. So we have great hopes of you. We believe that you will be able to do what we couldn't do. And I think educators have a very, very great responsibility to help, because we shape mindsets. You can either shape them into the status quo, or you can shape them to become change makers. And to children of privilege, and to parents of privilege, you know, it's just the luck of the draw. Our children must learn that their privilege is unearned. And we must talk to our children about what they will do with their privilege. Will they use it only to add to more privilege, or will they learn to share it and to help make the world a better place? So thank you very much, and God bless you, children, once again. And good luck to you guys.
I, Ojaswa Singh, the school prefect of Dehradun Boys School.
And I, Shivangi Bhupendra, the head girl of the Doon Girls School, would like to extend a word of thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Urvashi Sahni, for gracing the occasion and sparing time from her busy schedule. No words are enough to express our gratitude towards our parents for being a rock-solid support system and a constant source of encouragement. An event like today's cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks before, as it requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We've been fortunate enough to be backed by an immensely supportive management and a team of well-versed teachers who left no stone unturned, acting as a catalyst that stimulated us to do our best.
I would also like to thank all the people who have worked behind the scenes, which includes the technical, light arrangement and stage setting team. Last but not the least, I would like to thank each one of you present here for making this event a truly memorable one. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so we come to the end of another term, and a long, grueling one it has been. And I must sincerely thank everyone for keeping the wheels moving. My sincere thanks to our chairman, Mr. C.P. Dang, for his continuous support. Thank you, Mrs. Goswami, Mr. Mohit Dang, for always being there for us. We are grateful to Mr. Parasnath and his team for providing us with healthy food round the year. Indrajit ma'am, we are ever so grateful to you for all your help, which you always do with a smiling face. Mr. Ashish Negi for all his IT support, especially during the time of the Zoom calls. We know what it is all about. Pavitra ma'am, gratitude and thanks to you and your team. Thank you, Neelam ma'am and the admin department for your support. A big thank you to our activity and sports departments for putting up a great show, the great exhibition this morning. And here I must make a special mention and thank Mr. Bapun Datta for this beautiful hand-painted stagecraft. All this has been done. Thank you, Mr. Bapun Datta. And finally, to my teachers and colleagues, I cannot enough express my gratitude and thanks for going way beyond your call of duty and rising to the occasion always. I have always believed that a school is not just a building with great facilities, but one that has a character and an individuality of its own. And this is largely created by the ideology, good practices, and the mentorship of its principal and the team of educators. It is my attempt to try and mold and shape young children and to inculcate in them, as well as my team of educators, a spirit of self-esteem, support, friendship, and team spirit. It has been my endeavor to shape the ethos of this school, to send out students with a desire and thirst for knowledge and the skills of how to acquire and use them. As William Haley has rightly said, by the time they leave school, every student should know how much they do not know and should be filled with a lifelong desire to know it. I request all the parents and guardians to encourage and motivate their children to develop healthy minds and follow their dreams. And, if I may say so, to get rid of the obsession with marks and ranks. Education today is not only about gaining knowledge, but being compassionate and tolerant. It has been our endeavor to guide children as they are growing up with the right values.